Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Drive Thru. I'm your host, Tony T, with here on demand Tuesday through Saturday as we shoot for 6 picks from 6 cappers. So let's get the show underway. Before that, though, give us a like, a thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe to our channel. Great content on the Pick Dogs YouTube channel. Over 255,000 subscribers. You know there's great content when you can pull those numbers. But let's get the show underway. Let's welcome in Damian Sosh. You'll find him over at Pick Dogs. Damon, what's going on?
Hey Tony, how we doing? A couple tough ones here recently in the NFL. The Sunday night with the Ravens and my Monday night play with the Bears. But looking forward to talking some baseball with you today and getting out some winners to everybody out there.
Yeah, let's get the winners going here during the week as we look here at this one. Divisional rivals battle, but looks like the Phillies some distance here on the Mets here. Phillies and Mets head to head. We see the Phillies open up about $1.64 total in this one, coming in right at 8.
Yeah, it's just definitely a series here where the Phillies can really put the nail in the coffin here for the Mets as far as the division goes. And if you remember last year, the Mets knocked the Phillies out of the playoffs. So the Phillies can make things a little bit tough on the Mets to get that wild card. They definitely like to do it. But taking a look here at this game, we got Clay Holmes of the Mets going against Christopher Sanchez. And I think the best value on this one lies on the under. Holmes comes in with a 3.61 ERA, 147 innings pitched on the year. Phillies do have a lot of swing and miss in that lineup. Obviously, the Mets are going to want to do all they can to, at the very least, secure that wild card berth. So I expect him to come out with a strong performance. And Sanchez has been dynamite all year, 12-5, 2.60 ERA. What can you say? He's got a really devastating changeup. The Mets haven't been scoring a lot of runs, I believe. Coming in this one, as of Tuesday night here, just 12 runs in their last 5 games. So they haven't been putting runs on the board. I think we're going to see a pitcher's duel in South Philly in this one, and I like the under.
All right, we got Damon here on the under, looking here for a pitching duel between this Mets and the Phillies. Yeah, I know Christopher Sanchez, one of the pitchers in that rotation you can trust. We saw some regression from some of the other starters in that rotation. Of course, we saw Wheeler they're missing one of their stud arms here. But how are you feeling here about this Phillies team as they head into a playoffs here in about a month?
Yeah, Wheeler is without a doubt a blow. And then another thing you have to look at, Jose Alvarado, one of the guys the Phillies were counting on coming into this year, suspended. I know he's allowed to pitch now, but as far as his PED use, they're not going to be able to use him in the playoffs. Now, Aaron Nola gave them an excellent start on Monday. I believe he gave up 1 run, went deep into that game. Now, he's a guy that was his first good outing in quite some time. They're really going to need to rely on him, Ranger Suarez, to pick up the slack here. So what once was very, very, something Phillies fans didn't have to worry about, they need to worry a little bit about that. But I think Sanchez is definitely a guy that can get him going in the right direction. I like how Ranger always seems to come up big in the playoffs for the Phillies. Nola's a question mark. They recently picked up Walker Buehler. I don't know if he's a guy that they're going to be looking to start, but I'm sure they're going to give him a good hard look here at the end of the regular season as well.
All right, Damon here, Phillies, Mets under total of 8. This one to have a start time, 6:45 Eastern time. All right, Damon, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs from here for the card here on Wednesday. Heading into some action here in Major League Baseball. And more getting closer and closer here to the football here for the weekend. Great results over the past 7 days. 919 units of profit. What do you got for sale over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, I'm going to have the baseball up here for sale on Wednesday night, so definitely head on over and take a look. And obviously, big weekend of football. I mentioned a couple of tough luck losses there recently in the NFL, but we're looking to turn that around. We've had, and obviously, college football during the weekend, on the weekend as well. We've had a strong performance the last 3 seasons, profitable years in college football. Off to about a 500 start, so we're looking to really pick it up, and we definitely will. So looking forward to a big weekend, and as always, a long-term plan is the way to go. 2 for 1, 3 for 1, 4 for 1 capper deals is the best bang for your buck. So team me up with one of the other great guys you're going to see on the show tonight, and let's put us to work for you to make you some money.
That's right. Get on board with Damian Sosh over at Pick Dog Premium. Great results over the last 7 days documented. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save that 15% off. Of course, long-term pass the way to go with all these sports overlapping. All right, Damon, as always, great having your show. Continue that great success, and we'll catch up with you next week.
Thanks, Tony. Have a great night.
You as well. Damian Sosh here on the Drive Thru. Let's continue on the Drive Thru. Up next, Rod Zawacky. Find him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Major League Baseball coverage here from Rod. Rod, what's going on?
Not too much, Tony. It's Wednesday. Looking forward to some baseball action here. I think I got a nice little winner for everybody to knock it out of the park, as they say here on Hump Day. So without further ado, let's get to that winner for everybody.
Let's get to the game here. Divisional battle here. Giants and Diamondbacks. Kind of a big one here with wild card implications here. Giants have been making up ground. Arizona there lingering. We see the Giants here favored $1.16. Total coming in at 8.
Yeah, you look at this matchup. Hey, just when you thought the Giants were looking like they were, the year was over, they hit themselves a nice little winning streak. Their offense came to life and started to put some wins together. Starting to come back in that wild card race of these Giants. So big games here against the Diamondbacks, including this one here that we're looking at. And on the bump for this Giants squad is Seymour going, and Seymour, you look at what he's been doing. His first start out, he went 3 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, couple walks, couple home runs. Carson Seymour was definitely not the start that he wanted there for the Giants. And then you look at on the other side of the bump for Arizona, it's good old Eduardo Rodriguez rolling along, and hey, he hits spells where he pitches well, and you see him where he'll go 6 innings, give up 4 hits like he did last time out, and gave up only 1 earned run in that contest versus Boston. Hey, Arizona got the win 10-5 in that matchup. Then he followed up with a pretty good start before that with a pretty good start versus the Dodgers. But putting 3 good starts together, not been where Eduardo is shine, that's for sure. After his 2 starts, he follows it up with a nice 6-0 to the over following 2 outings where he's allowed 2 runs or less. So I like an over here in this one. As I said, Seymour not so good. He went 3 innings last time, gave up a whole pile. So meaning the Giants most likely going to have to go to their bullpen early. They do have the better bullpen, but when you throw it to the Arizona bullpen late, that bullpen's scored almost 5 ERA over the last week. It's well over 4 on the road. This total seems a little light to me at 8. I like the over in this one, Tony. I think we get plenty of offense for both of these teams to get us up and over this total of 8.
There we go from Rod. Plenty of offense. You know, that's what's really been helping these teams, especially the Giants, getting back into this wild card race. Has been really their offense picking up. They went that really cold spell at home about a few weeks ago where they couldn't find a win at home, but of late they've been getting their offensive production way up.
Definitely. It's kind of what's brought the Giants back into that playoff picture where they have been scoring runs offensively. We've seen 7 runs, 10 runs, 8 runs, 8 runs, 13 runs, 15 runs. Recently, in the first game of this series, 11 runs for the Giants. Hey, the Giants could be possible. They do the bulk of the heavy lifting on their own here in this one to get us over the total. I also lean to the Giants to get the win, but give us the over 8 here in this matchup on Wednesday.
Yeah, and they can also feast on the D-backs bullpen as well. Here we go, D-backs Giants over a total of 8. This one to have a start time 3:45 Eastern time. All right, let's take a look over at Pick Dog Prim here for this Wednesday card. Of course, baseball on the board, action from the W. Of course, so we're just a day away from the return of the NFL and college football. What do you got for sale over at Pick Dogs Premium?
I'm free over Pick Dogs Premium today on a Wednesday. Hey, I got 2 MLB, and I do have action in that lone final game of the WNBA regular season. Lots of WNBA playoffs around the corner, but hey, Wednesday sparks that last game of the regular season, and I've got to play in that one for you. Also got a couple plays on the MLB slate. So a nice little 3-pack for Wednesday. You can head on over to Pick Dogs Premium, scoop that 3-pack up, and then hey, after you make that a nice little winning day with me, head on over and look at something long-term, 3-day, 7-day, 30-day. It's that time of year where, hey, multiple sports start to overlap, where we got NFL, we got college football, we got the WNBA playoffs right around the corner, we got MLB with a couple more weeks left in their regular season, and their playoffs are right around the corner. So 30-day pass gets you right into the start of the NHL as well. So that's the way to go here at Big Dogs. Jump aboard something long-term. Take advantage of that 2-for-1, 3-for-1 capper promotional as well. Can't go wrong with that. Having multiple cappers putting money in your pocket and building that bankroll. Don't forget, pick a checkout, save 50% off. But either way, head on over to pickdogs.com. Quick link in the description gets you on over. You can find my page over there and join me. Let's continue to have a nice winning September.
That's right. Get on board with Rod over at Pick Dog Stream. Long-term subscription is the way to go. All these sports overlap, and Pick is your promo code. Save that 15%. By the way, 15% off. Link in the description lands you here. Find Rod on the handicapper tab and get signed up. All right, Rod, as always, great having you show. Have yourself a great evening. We'll catch up with you later.
Definitely. Have a good evening, everybody. We'll catch you on the next one. Take care.
Rod Zawacky here on the Drive Thru. Let's continue here on the Drive Thru. Up next, David Racey. You'll find his screenplays over at Pick Dog Stream. Let's bring in David right now. David, what's going on?
Not much, Tony. Coming off of a really solid college football weekend for me. Went 10-3 Saturday in college football. So definitely had a great weekend. Lions looked like crap, so that was sad. They got blown out. My Wolverines didn't play well either. So not great there. We'll look to bounce back this upcoming week.
Let's do it indeed. Let's take a look here. Go to Major League Baseball here. Tigers here. They're going to be on the road to face the Yankees. We see the Yankees sitting about $1.68 here, right near the open. The total coming in here at 8.5 runs.
Yeah, we have two teams trending in two different directions here. Yankees are surging right now. You look at the last 3 or 4 weeks, they're really making headway in that AL East, chasing down Toronto. And on the other side, you got the Tigers, who are cruising in the AL Central, mostly because the Central is a pretty weak division. But you look at their last 60 games, and they're pretty much a 500 ball club. Yankees at home here, but I'm going to take the Tigers in the plus money. This Yankees team, like I said, is red hot. They're going with Carlos Rodon, who has pitched extremely well recently. He's allowed 2 earned runs or fewer in 7 straight outings. So you would kind of naturally think, okay, Yankees might be the play here at home, especially with the Tigers starting Flaherty, who we know has struggled. Flaherty, ERA just under 5. But I like Flaherty against these good teams. He has been beaten up a little bit, or a lot, I guess, this season against the weaker teams. You look at his last start, the White Sox, 4 earned runs. 3 starts ago, the Royals put up 8 on him. But you look at how he performs against the top teams. He went against Houston, 7 innings, no earned runs back on August 18th. August 1st went against the Phillies, 6 innings, 1 earned run. July 27th, Blue Jays, 6 innings, 0 earned runs. Seattle and Tampa Bay, 2 earned runs. So against the better teams, he's pitching actually extremely well. Now, why these bad teams like the White Sox and the Royals and the Twins beat up on him, I don't know. But he seems to get up for these bigger matchups, and I think it gives Detroit some decent value here with the plus money. Plus, Detroit's bats are starting to come back. They went really cold in late July, early August, but they are snapping back. They are scoring some runs. The starting pitching in the bullpen, definitely a concern, but I just think Flaherty against a good team at this price is the way to go.
Here we go with David here on the Tigers here, plus 142 here against the Yankees. Mentioned about winning teams. That's been one of the weaknesses for this Yankees team is their performance here against the winning teams. They took care of some of the bad teams, but against winning teams, they've really struggled.
Yeah, they have, but I mean, you look at the last month, and they flipped the switch. They were really struggling. Now, at the time of this video, just 2 games back of Toronto, they're coming off of 2 back-to-back series wins against Houston and Toronto. They're taking care of business. You can tell they've finally figured out, oh, hey, we're the Yankees. We need to be playing better than this, because they were really sloppy, especially in the field early on in the year. But yeah, right now they are playing very well. The pitching's gotten better. They're getting a little healthier. But like I said, I just like Flaherty in this spot. I know Flaherty's been a guy to fade most of the year, but not against these top teams.
All right, we got David here on the Tigers, plus 142 here against the Yankees. This one here to have a start time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. All right, let's take a look over at Pick Dog Premium for the card here on Wednesday. David, what you got for sale over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yep, as usual, I'll have a full slate of MLB action today. I think only a couple of afternoon games, but I will have one play in the afternoon games, a handful of plays at night. And, of course, as we get to the weekend, college football, NFL. Second on the board currently for college football on all of Pick Dogs. I'll have a huge card on Saturday. I'm one of the higher volume bettors on Pick Dogs, so definitely long-term, 3-day, 7-day, 30-day, or the yearly is the way to go. Just with the amount of plays that I have, that makes the most sense. So head on over to the site, check it out, and let's cash some games.
That's right. Get on board with David Racey over at Pick Dog Premium. Long-term subscription is the way to go, especially now with all these sports overlapping. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout, and you'll save that 15% off. All right, David, as always, great having your show. Have yourself a great evening. We'll catch up with you again next week.
All right. Thank you, Tony. Have a good one.
You as well. David Racey here on the Drive Thru. Let's continue here on the Drive Thru. Up next, Shane Mickle. You'll find him over at Pig Dog Screen with Major League Baseball coverage here on the Drive Thru. Let's welcome in Shane. Shane, what's happening?
How's it going this afternoon, Tony?
Doing great, doing great. All right, let's take a look over here at the card here. We're going to look at the single game here for Major League Baseball on Wednesday afternoon affair as the Twins are at the Angels. Angels opened about $1.42 in this one. We see the total 8.5.
Yeah, last week I was sucked in by Taj Bradley. I took their first 5 on the drive-through, and we all saw how that ended up. Taj Bradley went back to his ways of his first couple starts with the Twins, and I don't think there's any reason to believe it's going to be different here. He struggled with his command, struggled with his fastball command, well, basically his command in general. He's been getting hard, and even as Angels' offense has been inconsistent, has been we'll even find success against him. And then for the Twins, they get to go against Jose Soriano, who's been okay. But the one thing about this Twins offense is it doesn't seem to matter who they've ran out there. You know, they're basically playing with Byron Buxton, Royce Lewis, plus, I mean, AAA guys, AA guys, more AA guys, honestly. But they've been hitting. I think they can do it again here. I think both offenses find success, and I'll take the over.
All right, we got Shane here on the over. Twins and Angels here in the afternoon sun over in LA. They show wind blowing out 9 miles per hour, so also age you there in that over. Of course, this is a Twins team that really has has not done well whatsoever. And also notice that both teams, the bullpens are not performing.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem with the biggest issue with the Twins. I went to the Twins game on Saturday in Kansas City, and all the Royals fans, they ended up winning, but all the Royals fans were leaving at the 8th inning. I said, you just still got 2 innings of the Twins bullpen. There's a high likelihood that that the Royals still win this game. So yeah, the Twins are never a team you want to trust from the bullpen, and same with the Angels. Even if somehow these two teams have a miracle where both starting pitchers are good, which I don't see happening, you still got to worry about the bullpen because both these guys aren't going 8 or 9 innings. They're going 4 or 5, so that's plenty of innings the bullpen that have to eat.
There we go. We got Shane here. Twins Angels over 8.5. This one 4 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Shane, let's take a look over at Pick Dog Stream here for this card on Wednesday. A lot of baseball on the board. Shane doing great work over the past 7 days. 771 units of profit document over at Pick Dog Stream. You can verify that on Shane's handicapper page with the link in the description. What do you have for sale, Shane?
Yeah, I've got one WNBA play, only one up there tonight. And then, of course, MLB 3-pack. But hop on long term. There's no better time to hop on long term. We have college football. My NFL's gotten off to a solid start. Don't forget about Canadian Football League. I've been strong all season in Canadian Football League. So there's no better time to hop on that, 3, 7, 30-day pass, and we can make some money together long term.
That's right. Get on with Shane over at Pick Dog Stream. Long term pass the way to go with all these sports overlapping. Of course, remember the promo code PICK at checkout will save you that 15% off. All right, Shane, as always, great having you show. Continue that great success, and we'll catch up with you again next week.
Sounds good. Have a good one, Tony.
You as well. Shane Mickle here on the Drive Thru. Let's continue here on the Drive Thru. Up next, Kevin Thomas. Find his screen plays over at Pick Dog Stream. More Major League Baseball coverage. Kevin, what's happening?
Tony, it's beautiful weather. It's where you're getting to 70 degrees, 60 degrees. But that pool that I spent all that time on, no one used it. It's time to cover it. It's time to focus on football. But we're here to give you a free MLB winner, just as a teaser, though. But make sure you're focused in on that football action because we've had some great games, some thriller endings. Even though I had the Chicago Bears, fell asleep a little early, happy, woke up sad, but that's how it goes. It seemed like it was a great game when I got home, got to watch the end of it, replay. It was, I like those kind of games, thrillers. I hate losing, but it happens.
It happens, yeah. But that's how it rolls. That's right. That the NFC North will be some division this year, as we can see the very competitive game. Except the Lions, we'll see what happens. See if they can bounce it back. But we go to baseball here. We got the final month of the regular season. Just about 3 weeks left. Matter of fact, a week from today we'll be in the wild card. 3 weeks from today we'll be in the wild card round. But we got to close up shop here. Pirates and Orioles head to head. We see the Pirates $1.48, total 7.5.
Yeah, Tony, these are two teams we don't have to worry about the playoffs with. I kind of feel bad for the Orioles coach getting fired so early in the season. One of his guys, Tyler Wells, who's going to pitch in this game. Another guy that came back from a huge surgery, had a great first game, his first game back, his ERA, he's around 3 or whatever. This team would have been stacked. You have him, Bradish, Kremer, all these guys, Batista, everyone got hurt. And it's going to continue here, especially with the bats. Still no Westberg. Still no Adley Rashman. That's tough, especially going against Paul Skeens. We know how good this guy is. His last 3 starts, phenomenal. I think his ERA is 1 his last 3 starts. And he's averaging about 6.5 innings. Pittsburgh Pirates, when you think of them, you really don't think about baseball. You think about the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that's the problem with it. The marketing's not good. And I think the team checks out just like the fans check out. I can't see a lot of runs here in this game. If I had to bet the game, I would probably lean just the Pirates because of all the injuries to the bats for the Orioles. But if you look at the Orioles, I think they're like 6-1 or whatever in the month of September. Only 4 of those 6 games were 8 runs or less. That's rare for a Baltimore team. They're usually used to scoring and bad bullpen. But like I said, with Eflin and all those guys out, these other guys are stepping in. These guys are coming back from injury, and they're pitching them. I mean, I guess just to get the reps in or whatever, but, man, these guys are all pitching, and they're not scoring a lot of runs, but they're winning. And then the Pirates on the other side with Skeens. I think this is going to be a nice pitcher's duel. It looks like the public is pumping the under, probably because they saw Skeens on the mound. Probably know nothing about Tyler Wells. The guy's a pretty good pitcher. I think we're going to get an under here, 7.5. And the big trend that I found was the Pirates, 68 road games cashing the under, 40 times cashing the under away from home, and 2 pushes. This is a hook. It's not going to push. That trend says bet the down. We're going to go under 7.5 here.
All right, Kevin Thomas here on Pirates Orioles under the total here of 7.5 runs. Yeah, how can you argue that here with the way Skeens is pitching, and of course that Pirate hitting just way under par this year.
Yeah, like I said, injuries. That was my fantasy team got eliminated. I had Adley Rashman as my catcher and Westberg as my second base shortstop, and those guys, they've been out for a while now. And now, I mean, they got that phenomenal catcher, number 1 pick or whatever, but he wasn't doing anything. His bat was horrible. So I just got to ride this under here. Just got to make sure the Pirates don't get lucky, because every now and then Reynolds and what's his name will get a couple big hits, and you're like, oh, what the heck? Oh, gosh. Ex-Philly. I can't even think of his name, but we know he usually bats the top 3. But I think they could pitch around those guys and be fine. I think it's going to go under.
All right, we got Kevin here on Pirates Orioles under a total of 7.5 runs. This one will have a start time here of 6:35 Eastern time. All right, let's take a look over at Pick Dog Print for this Wednesday. Baseball on the board, of course. One day away from the NFL and college football return, heading to a big football weekend. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Tony, I can't stress this enough. I tell everyone, long term, even if it's a 7-day, if you just wait till Friday to get all those weekend games, that's the way you want to go. You're going to get about 15 picks from me. You do 2 for 1. Some of these guys put up probably 30, 40 picks in a weekend. Pick your poison. But we're going to have a lot of good plays coming up. My Packers play Thursday night. I'm excited for that game. We'll have some props up for that as well. So make sure to tune in for that. And then I do my show every night, picking a prop. So make sure to follow over at Pick Dog's YouTube channel and leave me a thumbs up.
That's right. Leave a thumbs up on Kevin's video series. Get on board with Kevin Thomas over at Pick Dog Prim. Way to go. Here's those long-term passes. See them there, 3, 7, 30 pass, even a 1-year all sports pass. Now with all these sports overlapping, that's the way to roll, and use that promo code PICK to save that 15% off. All right, Kevin, as always, great having you show. Have yourself a great evening. We'll catch up with you later.
I'll see you Friday, Tony. Thank you.
You got it. Kevin Thomas here on the Drive Thru. And now it's time for my pick. We move over to Major League Baseball here with the Rockies and Dodgers. Look at this big line here. LA favorite 350. Total sits here at 8.5. We're going to look at the total in this one, and we will go under the total here of 8.5 runs. LA and Colorado. Kyle Freeland will get the start here for Colorado, and he'll go against Blake Snell, the lefty here for LA. And Colorado, we know, just cannot hit on the road. Just 206. LA hitting 232 over their past 7. Look at Freeland, pretty good numbers over his past 6 games. ERA at 3.56, but Snell, you look at his home starts, ERA 1.78. The Rockies 26-12 the under on the road against winning teams. LA in their past 10 games against losing teams have gone 9-1 to the under. So our pick here will be on Dodgers and Rockies to go under total of 8.5 runs. All right, be sure to visit Pick Dodge Premium for my best bets and my multi-package available here right now. I'm having a great year in Major League Baseball amongst the unit leaders here. Number 2 in Major League Baseball in units returned in baseball. Document over at Pick Dodge Premium. You can verify that by going to the website, hitting the link, and you'll see me on the upper right here over the past 12 months. Click that page. Gone over to my page. You can see the last 12 months approaching 4,200 units of profit. Showing profit 90, the last 60, the last 30, the last 7. Come off a 2-0 day on Tuesday. So get on board with me. I'll have my best bets up there, or may consider my long-term subscriptions. Remember that 30-day pass gets you all of my baseball here for 30 days, as well as my NFL, college football. So great time to get on board with me on a long-term pass as I'm producing some great numbers over at Pick Dodge Premium. Link in the description to get on over there. All right, that'll do it for our show today. We're back again tomorrow. So make sure you guys hit that like, that subscribe. Over 255,000 subscribers here on the Pink Dogs YouTube channel. So you guys want to be a part of it and hit that subscribe button, get notified of all our video releases. That'll do it for now. I'm Tony T. We'll talk with you guys tomorrow.